I want to share my decluttering and revamping tips with you. I've recently lost my mom. We shared an apartment together, and it has been both a challenging and therapeutic process. Within these last 3 months, September through December, I have been hyper focused on working on my space. Tip number 1 is going to be to start small and stay consistent. I don't know about you guys, but if I start a really huge declutter, I get tired towards the end of it or midway, way before I've been able to put things away, and then I feel sluggish for the rest of the week if I don't put everything away by the end of the night. Why? Because I'm the type of person who likes to see clear surfaces. I'm working on small areas at a time unless I have the entire day to declutter, and in most cases working full-time means I can only do a couple of drawers at a time on most days. The really cool thing about giving yourself a 10 to 15 minute time limit is that as soon as those 10 to 15 minutes are over, you don't have to keep decluttering unless you feel like it. And sometimes you do feel like continuing, but if you don't, it's perfectly okay. And at least you have that item that you can check off your to-do list, and you can feel some sense of accomplishment having cleaned out that kitchen drawer, let's say. Number 2, this is a classic for good reason because it's extremely effective, and that is to use the 3-box method. The 3-box method entails having a box to keep, discard, and donate. This for me is a crucial step because I need the items very clearly segregated, and then the items for discarding are usually kept at my entrance, the easiest point to pick them up and get them out of the door. I tend to declutter before garbage night or a couple of nights before so that I can segregate all those items to one place and make sure that they get out on garbage night. Tip number 3 is going to be to infuse your personality into each room little by little. My mom was the type of person who likes to have things all out on the counter because if she didn't see it, she would forget it. I am not that type of person. I really thrive in an environment where surfaces are clear, and it is taking me a while to build up to that point because I need to make space to put said items, and those cabinets and drawers were already overflowing. Instead of buying new decor right away and new organizational props, I would first work on decluttering those small areas and determining what I actually need. And I also pulled out some decorative items that I haven't seen in a long time. Adding those personal touches just makes the whole process a little bit more satisfying, especially when you come home from a long day at work and you look up and you see those treasured items on display. They don't look like clutter, they look like intentional pieces in your space, and they bring you warm, fuzzy feelings. If you lead a busy life, you definitely need efficient cleaning hacks. I could easily make an entire video about this. Hit the like button and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below. One way to do this would be to set a 10-minute timer and do a quick blitz clean. Another efficient way to keep your place looking tidy is to make sure that you clear surfaces, and you can have designated drop zones for that. Keys, phone, purse, etc. Create drop zones for those items, and it will severely decrease how cluttered your place looks. So I, for instance, like to make sure that my counters are clear before I go to bed, and generally speaking, I like to make sure that my dishes are at least washed. I don't want things drying and dirty in the sink. It's one or the other, but even better, it's neither. Comment down below what your cleaning hacks are and what are your efficiency tactics. I want to know because I love to learn more about this topic. I love to remove barriers of resistance from completing tasks that I generally would like to do. I have a cleaning basket that lives under the sink in the bathroom, and I have one that is for designated kitchen cleaning supplies that is really at reach easily for me while I'm in the kitchen. I'd really like to get into the habit of flossing more, but that is a whole other story. Another way to get more efficient about cleaning is to make sure that it's fun, or that you have something to look forward to while you're cleaning. Listen to a podcast or music, maybe an audiobook. I do the same when I do dishes in the evening, and if I take a phone call, I'll make sure that I'm folding some laundry while I do that. A lot of the other times I'm usually out and about on my way to the grocery store. I think it's better to squeeze those in while you're cleaning or organizing, because then you're getting something productive done. And then when you're walking outdoors, it's a little bit better to disconnect and just sort of focus on your surroundings as opposed to being distracted. Number 5, incorporate organizational tools that spark joy. I have several of these all over the apartment, and they are, generally speaking, for me anyways, trays that I can corral things on, because it makes it seem like there's not a mess, but it gives you the opportunity to be a little bit undone. For instance, there's a marble moon and eye-shaped tray that create a full circle on my dresser. I'm absolutely in love with this piece. There is a terrazzo piece on my counter that I use to corral my keys, and a candle and some essential oils at the entrance of my apartment. And I don't know what it is about that tray. It's a fetish of mine. I would recommend to create a designated space for a singular category of item. You can use those organizational tools to limit the allotted space for said singular item. For example, utensils. I have a utensil divider that I just purchased, and I'm not letting myself surpass that utensil divider. Anything that is surplus gets either put away or decluttered. If those organizational tools that we're talking about are going to be kept outside, for example, like on surfaces and in plain sight like the tray or stationary bins, you want to make sure that they are consistent in the color family of your space. I use a lot of green and birch wood tones and white in my space. I tend to only use colors that match with that and not stray too far, but if I have a red box, for instance, that's particularly useful to divide something, then I will use that in my linen closet or in a drawer somewhere. Bear in mind that all of these tips take time to implement, and you will be implementing them over a long while before you get your space to where you want it to be. It's not just all about decluttering and making your place look like some unrealistic Pinterest or Instagram post or like your favorite organizational influencer. It's about creating a place where you feel relaxed, where you feel like you're utilizing everything that you need, and you convert your space into an environment where you can decompress, relax, get your things done. If you found these tips helpful, give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to check out my last video, which was a huge declutter, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. If you liked this video, I will see you in the next one.